On this episode of Connected with Kelly, we are going to be talking to Tenille Arts. This girl is making history. We're going to learn more about it coming up. This episode of Connected with Kelly is sponsored by Pickers Vodka, proudly made in Nashville, Tennessee. So Pickers is a tribute to the musicians whose sounds fill the air in Music City. Pickers Vodka is distilled 11 times from non-GMO corn, and it's gluten-free. My new favorite is the Pickers Unplugged Vodka Soda. They're in cans. They are only 96 calories, 0 carbs, great flavors. You need to give them a try. Visit pickersvodka.com to find out more or to order online. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Connected with Kelly. Today we are talking to Tenille Arts. A lot of things have been happening for her. It seems like it's all coming on really fast. But she's been doing this for a while. So we're going to get more about what she has been working on, new music that's on the way, summer plans, plus her song going to #1. How amazing was that? It actually made history. I'm going to let her tell more about that. But right now, let's get connected with Tenille Arts. Girl, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's you with a #1 hit.
Thank you so much. It's so crazy.
Is it?
It's like hard for me to comprehend. You know, it's been years and years of wishing and hoping that this would happen for me, and like to sit here and say that it happened is just, it's really crazy and hard to put into words, and my emotions are all over the place.
Well, let's back up just a little bit, because I think people that hear you and they know some of your songs, they're like, oh, that happened fast, but that's never the case. How long have you been in Nashville?
So I made my first trip to Nashville in 2009 when I was 15. And I've been going, I went back and forth like 2-week writing trips at a time, did a lot of my schooling on Skype. And so I've been, coming to Nashville for like 11, 12 years, but I moved here 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in being here and watching it, it obviously feels like everything happens quickly, but there was this long buildup. So those 6 years, what were you doing? You just writing and being out there playing your stuff?
Yeah, I signed a publishing deal, and that's actually, I'm originally from Canada, so I needed to get a visa and everything to be able to move here and actually even do that. So I signed a publishing deal at 21 and came to town and I wrote with everybody. I went to like every songwriter round that I could find and just like asked to write with people. So I did that a lot. My publisher wanted to record all this music on me. So we ended up, just kind of putting stuff out independently. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we worked really hard as a very small team and just kept building onto that team over time.
When you got here, I've had a lot of people say that the best piece of advice they've ever had given to them was find your tribe, like find your group. Was that what it was like when you were starting to find these pockets of people that you're writing with?
Yeah, kind of. I've always been somebody that loves to write with new people. So like I have a couple of writers that I love to write with, but then I'm always like at least twice a week writing with new people that I've never written with before, because you never know. I'm like, you never know who your people are. And so I didn't want to get locked down into that like specific tribe of people. So yeah, always constantly changing that group up. And I feel like it pushes me too,
right,
to like, get outside of my comfort zone when it comes to songwriting.
But I have to ask, because I've never written a song, I've never walked into a co-write. How vulnerable can you be when you just meet somebody like, hi, I'm Kelly. Let me tell you about the worst breakup of my life. Like, how does that even work?
It's really, I used to be really bad at it. Like, I was not good at opening up to people and everything. But once I started to, it was just like the most natural thing ever. Like I go into a room and I'm like, so this happened yesterday. And like, I just open up about it because I'm like, I'm not here to waste time. Like, I want to get right into this stuff, and being shy or not being as vulnerable as possible just like doesn't get us that far. So I try to just go all in, and a lot of my co-writers are like that too. I think they open up, if they're going through something, they're like, I can pull on this emotion today if you want me to.
So if there are people that are listening to this that are trying to hone their songwriting skills, take a page from the Tenille Arts playbook. Don't be shy.
Yeah. It's like the most difficult thing too, because when I came here at 15,
Right.
I was like, well, that's really hard for me to open up to people and actually talk about, what I'm going through. But it's one of those things. I mean, it's just like with your friends. Once you open up about stuff and you start talking about it, it's surprising how many people are going through the same thing. And if you open up about it, it makes everybody else feel like they can open up about their stories. And I think that's kind of what I've tried to do with my music. It's like the fans are reaching out saying, I've gone through this too. And that's a really beautiful thing.
So let's piggyback off of that. Somebody like that. You'd gone through a breakup, right? I've read this in some other interviews that you've done. So give us, the vibe of what was happening in the room that day when you guys wrote it.
I mean, they knew that I had written a ton of breakup songs, and we were just like, we don't need to write that today. We need to write something hopeful, because that's actually where my mindset was when we wrote this song. I had written all the breakup songs I needed to, and I was actually over the relationship at that point. I was thinking about going out with people and everything. So that was really exciting. That's an exciting time once you feel like you're over a breakup and you can kind of dive into something new. And I was just talking to my co-writers about that. And Allison had just gotten married, and she was, sharing some of her story. And I was like, I want that. I want what my grandparents had. I don't want to settle for anything less than that. And so we just kind of put all of those things into this song.
I want you to give a shout out to your collaborators, because you guys made history with this. The first country music song to go #1 that was written, produced, performed by all females. So girl power in effect. That's incredible. Did you realize that? Was that something that somebody told you later, or did you kind of have that in the forefront of your mind when you knew you were getting close to #1?
I mean, we knew it later on, but when we released the song, we didn't even think about that. We didn't know that wasn't, something that had happened before. And as we were climbing up the charts, some of the people on our team started saying, I don't know that there's ever been a female producer make it this high. And we started diving into some of those, those charts and really kind of going back in history and trying to find out if that had ever happened. And I think we broke the record at 15. Like nobody had ever been a solo producer on their song past 15. So we were excited. We were like, we're making history right now, but like we want to take it all the way to #1 and prove that we can do it. And Allison Veltz Cruz was the songwriter with us, and Alex Klein. And Alex had mentioned in an interview, she was like, I didn't know that this was possible because I had never seen a female producer actually get a #1. And I'm like, now you are that for somebody. You're that inspiration. You're that person that other young girls can look up to and be like, this is a possibility.
Okay, I got goosebumps. Yeah. That's so amazing. Okay, now that you have to write a song about it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You got to go back in. Yeah. I do want you to give us a little sneak peek of your next release that's already out.
All right.
Tell me a little bit about it.
So we have a new song called Give It To Me Straight that's out right now that I absolutely love. It was a song it's kind of a pre-breakup song. It's like you're going into it and it's going to happen, and you're like, you need to give me a real reason, and tell me why we're breaking up. Otherwise, I'm going to have no closure. So
that's good.
Yeah, that was the first release of the new music, and then we have a brand new song coming back then right now that is going to be out really soon.
Back then right now. What's the premise?
So, I mean, I grew up in a small town, like many people did, and my co-writers and I were talking about, how simple things were. When you're 15, 16 years old, there's a freedom in that, being naive to everything that's out in the world. And so this song just kind of brings back that feeling, and it's, kind of trying to bring some of that back into today.
I love that. Okay, so I heard that you are thinking about getting a tattoo to celebrate your #1.
Yes.
Is that true?
It is very true.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah. I have 2 finger tattoos.
Oh, they're tiny.
Yeah.
For everybody listening, they're teeny tiny.
Yeah. But I do. So at first I was like, maybe I'll just get like a little #1, like, because I have all these finger tattoos. I was like, maybe I'll get one little #1 on my pinky. And then my boyfriend was like, you should get a tally mark And then every time you get a number one, you can add on to it. So he's very hopeful and very optimistic. So yeah, I might do that.
I love that. That's a brilliant idea.
It could be really cool. And I've actually talked to, I had a couple people on my team that said they would get a tattoo if this happened. So we might all be getting matching tattoos. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to be watching for that
All
for
right.
sure. Speaking of Tyler, girl, he waxed his nose hairs before the ACMs. Can we I need the scoop on this. I was watching it on TikTok and I was crying laughing. You were laughing your head off. How painful really was that? Was he playing it a little bit for the camera or?
I mean, he said it was like really quick pain. And then after that, it went away. But I have to tell you, it was all his idea. Like
really?
I did not say, oh, you need to wax your nose hairs before we go on the red carpet. It was all his idea. He had seen these videos on TikTok and he was like, we need to do this. It'll be hilarious. And I was like, but I don't think you understand how bad waxing hurts. Like
Right.
every girl out there knows how bad waxing hurts. And I was like, you have no clue. And he's like, I can do it. It'll be fine. But like after that first one, I was surprised he let me do the next one. Like it looked like his soul left his body on the second one.
I mean, just the thought of it makes my eyes water.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Oh man. And it was disgusting. I was like, I don't want to see this. Like that's gross. That some things need to be kept like separate in a relationship. And I think that's one.
Girl, you are all in at this point.
Yeah.
You're like, there are zero secrets left.
Oh man. I wish there were some, but no, there aren't.
I love this. Okay, so tell me summer plans and what's been happening. I mean, so many things are opening up now. We're seeing all these lineups. Give us the scoop. What's happening for you this summer?
I will be going out on a tour and I'm really excited. They haven't announced it yet, but I'm so excited. This is like my first like big tour and it's happening. I think it starts like mid-summer. So it's happening and I'm so excited to get to play all of these songs and we'll be releasing new music as the summer goes on. So lots of that and a full new project before the end of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is this stuff that's already you've been sitting on it for a while and it's just like this, you're waiting to put it out?
It's all been written during the pandemic over Zoom.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You've been a busy bee.
I've been very busy. I had nothing else to do. So I'm like, I guess I'm just going to, write lots of songs. So
You know what? We can't wait to hear more from you. Congratulations, girl.
thank you so much.
Isn't she the best? I just love her so much. Congratulations to Tenille Arts. And thank you for being my first in-person interview in over a year. I didn't realize how much I missed being across from somebody and having a conversation. It was so much fun. I want to know your favorite female country artist. We are celebrating the females right now. So who was it? Was it Trisha? Was it Shania? Was it somebody that's on my shirt? Or maybe it's somebody like, Tenille Arts. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure that you are subscribed. I would love for you to be a part of our family and hit that bell. That way you will be notified each and every week when new episodes are dropped. Guys, in the meantime, make sure that you are staying connected with all of the people and things you love the most. Bye.